Oh boy. I thought I'd be able to have a nice, relaxing Sunday. Thanks, Bitcoin. Oh, okay. Actually, this is... meh. 14 people. Maybe I'll save enough money for a Lego Lambo. Yeah. Oh man. Alright, let's have a look. I've barely even looked at the price today. 16 viewers. This is what happens when Bitcoin's dying. Everyone just wants to ignore it, pretend that nothing's happening. Okay. Yeah, bear with me, guys. I'm just sorting some stuff out. Hey, well, at least we're getting a bounce underway. Yeah. To be honest, like, I might start. Actually, I might start a. JJ's here. JJ, do you want to? Should I set up a little Zoom? Should we do it? I'll if anyone wants to, yeah, let's have a little quick look and then, I want to take a look at this low earlier because I saw JJ, you posted this. So that's our point of control. Is that where we bounced? 33,200? No, we came lower than that, didn't we? Into the 31,880? 31,860? Did we come down that low? I haven't looked at the charts today. Oh no, we came way lower than that. Whoa. Yeah, nice little local uptrend. See if we can change the market structure. I am going to open up the Zoom. This is where everything normally goes wrong on my stream, because I think... Wait, I'll need to do headphones. I think ETH's having a nice bounce. Ethereum's having a nice bounce. So that's actually broken out of its like downtrend, its channel. Right off of this monthly. I wish I had more money to buy right now because actually, yeah. Anyway, okay. Zoom, 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 zoom. Volatility is fun. Volatility is fun if okay. I bought the positions that I wanted to the other day, so I haven't really been able to make the most of this. God bless me, I sold my wife for this dip.
Hello.
All right. God bless me, I sold my wife for this dip.
How's everybody's weekend?
Oh, hello, JJ.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, yeah, good. I just heard you coming through my headphones, so I think this means that's all working this time. So
It's working, yeah.
yeah.
Hey, we figured out technology. Good. Go figure for a group of people who are looking at Bitcoin.
I know. Yeah. So I see you've been having fun watching this today.
How's everybody's weekend? Whoa, is it got a delay or something?
Are you watching the YouTube stream as well?
Oh, okay.
If you just mute that.
It's working, yeah. Hey, we figured out technology. Go figure for a group of people.
Wait, is it? Have you muted your end? Or yeah. So Wait, is that my end or your end? That should be. My end's muted. You good?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Is this
yeah.
better?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I was doing.
Did you just have the YouTube video open?
Well, old guy, new tricks, right? Yeah.
All good.
Oh, this is yeah, I've been watching it. One of the guys in my group in my room gave me the template.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
man, this software is so much easier to use than Sierra.
it's nice, isn't it? Yeah, I think yeah, that's so the guy that gave you the template, that's this one that we use in ours as well. So I think
Okay.
it's one of the guys that we trade with as well. So I think I know who it was that gave it to you, and I'll
Yeah, which
yeah,
is
I'll
pretty
say
cool
thank you to him
'cause
for sharing to it. Yeah.
it's pretty cool because his dad was in the business for 30 years. So that it's neat that he was raised in the business,
Yeah.
But yeah, this market is amazing. It's the way it sells off and how they run the stops, and
Yeah. It's brutal, isn't it?
it's actually you
It's-
could really tell that there's some serious people in there with some dough.
Oh yeah.
It's really it's fascinating to watch. I still haven't figured out how the hell to trade it, like, because it's not like the stock or a future. You put in a limit order, and there's a sort of mechanics to the trading that I'll have to figure out. But
Yeah.
boy, I don't know how you could trade this without a TPO.
Oh god, yeah. Well, TPOs have only existed on this for well, not yeah. They've only been around for the last kind of year or so. So
Okay.
before then, we were just all candlestick charts and things. I'm just going to post the Zoom link into our Discord as well, so a few other people can join if that's okay with you.
Oh yeah,
Well,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I have to do my own Globex set when the when I have to do my own Zoom when the Globex opens. So I'll hang out for a little bit.
Yeah. See if we can get
Hopefully
a little.
we get some margin calls in ES because of this Bitcoin. That would be nice, because that market really needs to liquidate.
Yeah. Yes. How is ES doing?
Yeah, it's just we have short positions built on short positions. It's like a whole house of cards
Yeah.
built on cheap credit.
So that's if that doesn't.
Well, it's all momentum. The long. See, there's two types of buying in markets.
Mm-hmm.
They're investors who buy and hold for 5 years, 10 years, whatever. And then there are the momentum traders who push price around because they have the ability and the strength to do so.
Yeah.
And the capital. And that's what these markets have been going through. And that's why we have a short position in the ES market from 40.15 to 40.38. It hasn't filled, and it's been the end of March that was created.
Yeah.
And every time we get down there's so many people that are short, they just go racing to cover it, and it drives the price up like 100 points in 2 days. It's just
it does. It looks
it's crazy.
Although gas fees.
I've just invited a few others in, so
oh cool.
See who's here. Welcome anyone else. Cool. So like I'm just looking at the ES now, and it does look, well, it looks a lot like Bitcoin did.
Yeah,
before.
Exactly. It's a house of cards.
Yeah.
Hey, is that ES on? Hey, wait a minute. Where'd you get that from on there? Can you get ES on profile on here? Oh no, that's trading.
I've not got the profile.
Okay.
Yeah, I've not got anything to look at that, but yeah.
Hopefully we get some margin calls. Some of these people will sell ES to cover their Bitcoin because fund managers don't want to sell their Bitcoin.
Right. Yeah.
So
they're all buying this right now, aren't they? I think a lot.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was just looking at the old cattle wax on Bitcoin on the daily, and it looks like there's so much trap supply above 35,180. It's just all trapped supply above that.
Yeah.
It's so maybe it balances for a while before it goes up. That's why I'm just learning this market to see how how they clean it out, because they need to clean it now and then rip it back up. But how long will it take to clean it?
Well, yeah. Yeah, usually you could well, this is worse than anything I think I've ever seen apart from the COVID crash on Bitcoin. So this is the worst I've ever seen it in like the space of a week. So we're down in 1 week, we're down 50%. In 2 weeks we're down 55%. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff.
It's it's momentum trading, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's why the ranges are so massive, and it's the same with all the markets now, because so much cheap money, and these guys they're pushing for returns so hard, because as a fund manager, these guys, their last month is everything. It's like the Janet Jackson song, "What have you done for me lately?" That's what all their clients want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. With just how high it's gone, because that's the thing. Like I've never seen a week like this, so with just so much carnage in this market before. But then I've never seen a move up as high in this market as well. Like the thing is, we've been on, Bitcoin's gone for big runs before, and it's had like massive kind of bull runs of 1,000+% in a year. But it never did it at the speed that it did it this year early on. So
well, that's a structural thing with market supply. I mean, if you look at that area from 45,000 to basically 40,000, there was nothing but thin air there.
No, yeah, there's
no trading range, right? Yeah. And I know I sound like I always say, back in the days when we rode horses to school and used buggy whips and horse and carriage, they used to have something called a trading range. And if you look from May 20 to October 20, it actually traded in a range.
Yeah.
So if it comes back to that range, you got people who will buy and add to their positions. But when you got a market the way they did, when they pull that bid, because obviously what they were doing was they were holding the market over 47,000 to sell.
Yeah.
And you could almost look at the candles and see that, because I call it the patented big ass bid. Because what we do is you get the position. You know, the position was acquired between 29,000 and 40, and then they just held the thing over 45 to sell that.
Yeah.
You know, and distribute it, and it was just a beautiful distribution. And then they just pulled a bid this weekend and just banged it all down.
Yeah.
You know, now they'll buy it back, and if there's any size selling, it'll break 29,000. You know, but
that corresponds perfectly with the market sentiment as well. In that,
is it? Oh,
at
okay.
29,000, that was the first big run up, and that's when we first started seeing a lot of institutions getting into it, and they did their buying up to about 45,000.
Yeah.
And then they stopped, and retail took over and drove it up. And they said, "Oh, this is nice. We'll just take all your money now."
It's just like, you know, it's like fanning it out. You know, that's what we used to do. But the wonderful thing about these markets with you guys now is when retail, we used to say when the street takes it, right? The street took it from 45,000 to 65. Man, you guys come in like I've never seen retail come in this way. It is, you know, I used to try and build liquidity systems so we could sell stock in big chunks. And the kind of liquidity that you guys have in these markets. I mean, they're choppy and they're scary, but the amount of buying power that comes in is just beautiful.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's because it's unlike any other market in the way that it can be marketed to people. Yeah, people outside of kind of people who have never traded in their lives get into Bitcoin. It's become like the new entry point, I think, for anyone who wants to get into trading and things, and younger people as well. And the way that it can be marketed, and the kind of memes and things like DOGE and all of this stuff, which you just get these entries into. Just such a crazy market. And that's why it's such good fun to trade, because it's almost like it's kind of trading, and then it's like part of it's like a game as well, because you can pick different players, like what different altcoins you like, and people start to get really precious about certain alts they like. So it's almost like I guess supporting a sports team as well, because Bitcoin's not the only thing. You have like Ethereum, you've got Litecoin, you've got like 6,000 different assets underneath Bitcoin that you can trade, and it's
everyone
just
keeps talking about it. And I'm like, what? Wait, what is that? What is that? Right? And then,
that's the thing. When these markets are bullish, like all you'll get in the chat on these YouTube streams will be people asking for just these coins that have like a few million market cap, and just no liquidity. It's all one person that's created a token and push the price up to get people's attention, and then that just captures retail attention and people that don't have a clue what they're doing as well. And
I know it's highly addictive.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I got these charts configured 48 hours ago, and my girlfriend told me that this weekend is the first time in the time that she's known me that I took my eye off of her during a video chat and looked at the screen.
Yeah.
Right, and I was like, "Oh boy, okay, this is scary," because the addiction is this thing never shuts off. So you
no.
You know, it's
well, yeah,
I used to never look at the screens, and I'm always the guy going, you know, get out from in front of the screen this week, go do something, get some sun. Now here I am. I haven't left the screen in like 24 hours.
But your girlfriend's into crypto as well, right?
She is, yeah. She trades everything. So. She's the one who got me into all this. She's like, you should try this, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know anything about this, you know. When I met you guys, it was great because I started reading about it. It was just I couldn't get, you know, until somebody explained it to me, like Jeremy Irons says, explain it like you would to a golden retriever. You know, and then it's like, oh, okay, I get it now.
You get that Labrador brain around it.
Yeah.
Luke,
yes,
how are you, mate?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm good. What's happening?
Yeah, just watching this carnage unfold today. The big 2021, May 2021 massacre of crypto.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
JJ, you were mentioning you were trying to learn everything about crypto. I would be willing to bet that you could trade this based on your knowledge of TPO and market profile, etc. Because I think in terms of maturity, this market is not the institutional traders that are trading this market aren't trying to disguise anything. They're just running straight distribution and accumulation models, and you could eat it up.
It's I'm looking at it as going, wow, look at these moves. I'm like,
yeah.
this is like the 1990s, OTC bulletin board with way more money, and except nobody can smoke in offices anymore. So
it's quite amazing actually going back, because just looking at January's the profile from January as well, and how we've come down and just right into, I've had to put the tick size on something ridiculous, but it's right back inside January's range. So we're just back to the almost testing the start of the year again here, and it's but beneath that there's nothing either. So
yeah, I mean, they did one time frame up. I mean, pretty much it's really quite an interesting market. I do like the price action. It seems smooth on these charts. Now I know the ranges are huge, and you'd have to figure out how to trade it intelligently without
Luke, is it okay if I pick brain on JJ's brain on some strategies that I do with TPO? Well, I would like to see what he has to say about it. I mean, if you guys are fine with it.
Wait,
sure.
Yeah, we can do a little. Well, whoever's in
up
here.
Up to our.
Yeah. So JJ, hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm very good. It's been a really good weekend. Like we have this competition going on, so it's been like really aggressive trading, scalping all weekend. Like it's
nice.
Ridiculous.
It's quite something.
Yeah, in crypto, when you're scalping, like you're not eating, you're not drinking, you're literally glued. You're glued in, like you're taking profits quick. Like the price action is ridiculous.
It moves quick. It really moves. You gotta move
you
like
have
a
no
cat.
idea.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because they'll run a stop and then they'll run it the other way.
Take your profits quick. Like
they run it up, they run it down, right, and then they take it right back to the middle and kind of hang out. Wait for the next set of order flow. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. So JJ, listen. So what I'm doing, I'm trading for some time now of TPO and stuff. So I'm following this one particular price action that's happening with sessions all the time. Like New York usually always creates a strong buying tails.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So and then they create a strong buying tails. They pump a price a little bit and they dump it, but at the same time they create a single print that never gets filled.
Oh, really?
Like it's so funny because I'm literally trading off of it since maybe a couple of months now. Like it's 100% something is happening because some new market makers are in the game right now that are using this strategy. I'm following it closely. So they create the buying tails and then they dump the price, creating single prints, but the price never comes back to fill it.
Yeah, I see single prints from I don't know if this is accurate, like from 35,925 to 36,125.
Yeah.
And that is just supply. Single prints on the way down or supply on the way up. It's a short position or a lack of supply.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, just looking at these charts, that's a smart move to short against those on the way down. When they don't fill, and if they fill, there's your out, and that's the nice thing about structure, because it never lies.
Yeah.
Because if those things fill, that like today, was it yesterday? I did a thing. There was some single prints, and as soon as I did the analysis and said there were single prints, they filled on the way back up. It was an F period right around 10 o'clock or something like that, my time. And then the market H period came back and filled them. So that meant that the supply was done for the time being. Where's that today? This 24-hour market thing is confusing for an old guy, you know. Like, it's, but yeah, that sounds really like an interesting thing because we use single prints in the ES all the time. So you're like spot on.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I'm saying, and you know what's happening? Like they create the buying tails, and then those buying tails serve as a support. Like price usually comes back and literally reverses off of those buying tails. Like you can see right now, even now, Luke is pointing. You see the price came down into the buying tails, went back up, back tested the buying tails, shoot back up.
Exactly.
Like it's ridiculous. Like it's so
beautiful.
easy.
It's I don't like to say easy because I haven't traded the damn thing, you know, but it's very, very technically and mechanically, it's a beautiful thing to see because if you can get the execution right, you know, and I guess that's the trick in any market is learning how to execute properly, given the price action, right? And so now I got a quick question. Because there's so many exchanges and everything, do you just focus on the product that you trade, right? The price action on that product, right? And
yeah,
is that how it works?
Yeah, the price between exchanges is usually pretty kind of stable between exchanges. You do you do get arbitrage and stuff, opportunities, and there'll be times when you do get premium on some exchanges, but a lot of the time they're talking to each other. So a lot of at least the major exchanges, they're kind of I guess the price mechanics on that are from aggregated across multiple exchanges. So yeah, they'll use not only their own liquidity on their own exchange, but they'll kind of take the mechanics of what's going on in spot price as well, to try and keep things kind of fairly balanced across all exchanges. So at the moment there's not really any spread between, so derivatives exchanges are like 0.2% higher than spot exchanges at the moment, which is where the physical Bitcoin is traded. So it's pretty accurate across any exchange. So you can generally trade any exchange, and the profile differs, but the price remains the same, because obviously, like across different exchanges, you'll get bigger orders at different prices depending on who's playing that exchange, I guess, who's trading that exchange.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Looks like they can run the stops over 34,625. That should pop it up a little higher, but we'll see. There's so many stops to the downside now. One time framing, you know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stops down, just on a half-hour chart. You know, we'll see. It's so cool to watch this.
Yeah. So, and you see this, so just from kind of knowing what Bitcoin likes to do, and from like just putting the fear into retail, quite often, well, it's the same with anything, isn't it? But this low seems like it's pretty good. So, but it's just kind of running it down this way back to just get everyone out who's because we're even from this bounce off of the low from the 19th of May, we're down another 27% from there. So anyone getting in at like what 3x or something up here is, again, they've been liquidated on this move down again, and it's
it's I think true too, with the amount of margin players. You know, it's that probably just exacerbate, you know, just moves, you know, it just makes these moves so much more, you know, larger, just because there's so many margin players in this market. Well, you have to. I mean, the damn thing's 34,000 bucks a coin. You know, it's not like everyone's got $2 million sitting around to play with this.
Yeah.
You can trade parts of a coin, but
Yeah.
as I think we talked about earlier with you, JJ, there are so many people entering this that are very new to trading, and almost all of the exchanges will automatically enter you at 10x or higher.
Oh, okay.
And if you're a newbie and you don't really understand that, it's setting you up to fail, and you don't even realize it.
Yeah, I think honestly, for a newer trader, especially in this market with the level of volatility, and there's some pretty big sharks in this thing. You can just tell by the way it trades. You know, I think watching a market like this before you actually start, you know, jumping into it is probably beneficial to watch the price action, because I noticed that, you know, because it's the weekend, and you know, I'm old, so I'm like, you know, you're looking, oh, it's selling off, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 takes the stops and rips the other way. You're like,
Yeah.
whoa. I mean, you know, it's like, wow, I guess nobody's out at the park. You know, everybody's getting rid of this screen.
Yeah.
You know?
I think maybe that's the thing as well, because of there being less liquidity over the weekend as well, and it just becomes a lot of inexperienced traders who maybe they're in bad positions over the week, and they're people that just have day jobs. They're just putting all their money into crypto thinking they're going to become rich overnight, and then they start trying to trade the weekend, and it just becomes, because Bitcoin over the weekend's always been just stop hunts, just non-stop, and you can usually it kind of whips both ways when the market's ranging, instead of just kind of falling off a cliff like it has been recently. But during these ranging markets, and when you have weekends like that, then you often see it just whip both ways, take stops off of long short positions, and just continue back as normal. And yeah, it's quite fun to trade at the weekend, because you can just fade, like whichever way it starts to go, just fade that move, and it will come back to where it was earlier on. So
It's amazing.
yeah. Yeah, it's not looking particularly strong right now, though, is it? It's we'll see how it gets on.
Yeah, you know, you can always tell how much selling there is if you know, it's the way the stops are in this profile that I'm looking at. You know, I see stops at, you know, just 33,625, 33.50, 33,050. You know, and so if you run those, it's like a firecracker. And you know, we'll take out the one time framing but we're still one time framing higher too, with excess now in D. But it's just fascinating. It's really interesting to see this on profile.
Yeah,
it's very cool. Yeah, I'm learning.
Yeah, we all are. This is well, to see Bitcoin behaving this way, it's just it is fascinating to watch it.
Yeah. I like the way you have your chart set up there, where it's nice and clean. You can just see the TPOs. I'll have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, there's I think you're around tomorrow, aren't you? We were going to have a call
definitely.
just to get set up and everything on this.
Definitely. And, then I have to figure out the symbols too. These symbols are actually, I thought futures had the craziest symbols, because the futures contracts, they have a different symbol for every data provider, right? Which really confuses everybody. It's just ridiculous, right? So now I'm looking at BTC USD, and then it says inverse OKEX, BTC USD swap. I'm like, what is all this stuff?
Yeah, you know? So these are all the different exchanges, and then you've got, so obviously just Bitcoin, and then these are all altcoins as well. So EOS, ETH, Ethereum, XRP, loads of just different altcoins that all trade against Bitcoin and against US dollar. So you trade these altcoins against Bitcoin, and then so you trade them to like outpace Bitcoin to get more Bitcoin, and then you trade Bitcoin to get more dollar, and so many different things you can do on this market. It's
Yeah, I can see why you guys drink so many energy drinks.
coffee,
know?
yeah.
And if you trade altcoins, you got to chart 3 charts for each altcoin pair. You got to trade altcoin BTC, altcoin USD altcoin, and BTC like it's.
And then you look at the Bitcoin dominance and
Madness.
See, that's crazy. See, I trade for relaxation, right?
Mm.
I trade the S&P E-mini futures for relaxation because it's, especially like Globex at night, you drink a glass of wine, put on some music, chill out, it's nice. And you could see wholesale putting their position together, then you jump on, they move it. But this is something else, but it's very like, it's, I could start seeing, my dopamine receptors kind of, it's like,
yeah.
Oh, look at that move.
Yeah. And the thing is when, because especially during kind of those 3 years when Bitcoin's a bit cooled down, it goes on these mad runs for a year and things get real volatile and really crazy. But yeah, you do get those times when things do calm down and it just becomes really enjoyable to trade. And this is a bit, for me, I normally just step away when things are moving as fast as they are now and just wait for a bit of calm to come back into the market and have a sense of where things are going again. And if that's the thing, you're looking for a change of market structure, aren't we, really, at this point? And if it can get a change of market structure on, well, we're probably looking back above 38k at this point for things to start to get a bit of confidence back into the market and to maybe have a nice little range above between like 38 and 42k again that could be traded. But we'll have to wait and see. That's the thing, is like until, for me, and I think until we get that, and it will happen, but who knows how low it's going to go to before then. You'll get some nice ranges to play higher up, but I don't know if I want to be trading this when it's hanging off the edge of a cliff like it is now. So.
Guys, I have to go prepare for so I can keep these guys out of trouble. Yes, hopefully we see some selling in the markets this week going into month end.
Well, hopefully not anymore on Bitcoin.
No, I hope people sell ES and buy Bitcoin.
Yeah,
because I have so many friends who are short in ES and NASDAQ, even though I told them not to, because there's no supply. They're just jammed short in this thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm really, really hoping that they can weasel their way out of it before month end hits.
Yeah, hopefully. That would be interesting actually, because we've always I'll let you anyway, but we've always seen with a strange correlation between ES and Bitcoin. But if that can kind of
good stuff.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks so much again for joining us.
I'll hop and I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. And,
all right.
It was nice talking to you, JJ.
It was nice meeting everyone. I'm going to learn a lot from you guys, and thank you for the addiction. I never thought I could get addicted to something at my age, but great.
Yeah, sorry about that. All right, I'll speak to you soon.
Have a good night.
Cheers.
Have a great night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome for him to drop in.
Yeah, it's always great. Okay, so back to watching this, I guess, and we will what are we thinking then? Low in, or do we come down a bit further?
I don't know. We're creating lower highs. Like we are in strong local downtrend. So I mean, even global.
Yeah.
I just see it as another lower high right now. But this is an amazing environment for scalps. I've been scalping all day, yesterday, today. It's amazing how much it's respecting TA. In scalping wise, no matter how much choppy price looks, it's not that choppy. It's actually coming back to a value area low of the previous range.
Yeah.
back test it, go back down.
Yeah.
If we enter that area, then goes up, back tests, like test the value area high. Like it's very, very technical. Like I've been having really, really good success with scalping in
That's
these 2
great.
days.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've just
In
not.
this current climb, if you pull the fibs on it, it's walking up the fibs.
Yeah, because I mean, on weekends the bots are really, really active as well. You know, those big institutions, they leave a piece of like the funds on bots. They don't cut off completely like the funding.
Yeah.
So you can see that it's like if you pull sideways fibs, you can see that it's really, really respected, like 0.75, 0.25. Like it comes back up, come down, like it's, you know, it's very technical.
Yeah, we've been getting some really nice. Just again, all of these things going on. Where's the VWAP? Okay. Wow. Okay. We're at an interesting point now then. So yeah, if this is going to continue lower, then this would be it. I kind of like what it's attempting to do here. It does seem like it's having a little go at a reversal again, but how many times have we said that? If we can kind of come back up, but we're a long way off, like 38k really, until things change market structure on a higher time frame.
Well, and it seems that this area, there's not a whole lot of support one way or the other.
That's it. I think because part of me saying, so that low we put in during the week, it bounced up so fast, so hard that there's no time to react off of that. So and this would have been big money and short positions all the way down from 60k. There's no way they would have been able to get long down here. Not on like whole accounts and things really. So there's that part of me that says, okay, here's where the big volume came in. This is where kind of price was targeted to get down to, close out short positions. You get this second opportunity now, and this is where you would be looking to go long. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So the first drop, the one that went down to 29 and some change, do you think there was basically a buy wall there at the 32 that we just overran? Is that on the weekly, the previous support?
Not really. No, I think what probably happened here is liquidations galore, just an insane amount of liquidations on the way down, and exchanges really had to shut off in order for those to stop. So that's why we came all the way down to 29, because at this point exchanges were still open and they were liquidating people when price was static, just because there was so many to get through down here. And I think the rise off of that low would have been some big positions closing their shorts. I think that's mainly what fueled that bounce was from shorts closing out, or at least taking like big profit in this area. And then we had the exchanges shut down, so could they get long again at that point? I don't know. Like, was there time? Because by the time the exchanges shut down, I think we were all back up at kind of 37 by then. The bounce had happened. I think I can't quite remember what it was, but yeah, something weird happened, and
for a very short period of time.
Yeah. So we weren't down there for long enough. So to come back down, and for now this to just be, because realistically anyone who was in any kind of leverage position from the high, it's been liquidated already. So is there a need for it to still continue to search lower. Like, yeah, there'd be people getting back in here and here, and they're probably the same people that were over leveraged at the highs. And yeah, really, like, again, any leverage at all really at this point, that's gone again for a second time. So there is just thinking of how often I've seen things like this play out on Bitcoin, and is there really a need for this to continue lower, or is this just and I think this is probably more likely what it is that this is more like, let's scare retail out. This is a lot of people just closing out of any positions, price being kind of moved down almost naturally. There doesn't look to have been that much force applied to this. Again, it's probably a lot of bots, a lot of algorithms just following price down, and then retail just being scared out of positions. So a lot of people selling spot. Again, if you were buying Bitcoin during the hype, like up here, there'll be a significant amount of those people selling their spot positions right now. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
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 And then on top of that, you have, macro market structure that points towards more like 24, 23, possibly 19 and 13. So there's people who are sitting here saying, well, this might be the low, but it could go much lower. So I'm going to sell.
I think that's it. I think this is the first time. I've not really been looking at the charts much this weekend. Just yeah, well, it's a weekend. I don't often trade so much every weekend. I kind of keep an eye on what's going on, but I don't really trade it. But it does feel to me like this is the first drop we've had that people have, or kind of retail and newer people are convinced that we're now in a bear market and this is going much lower. Like everywhere down here, 42k, 38k, 32k the first time. That first bounce we had off of the 618 here, then we took the lows and we got the bounce. All of this, people are like, yeah, the lows in, yeah, the lows in, yeah, the lows in. And now this is the first time people are expecting lower, which makes me think that this is as good as we're gonna get. Like, for putting in a low. Yeah, because once people start to expect lower, and that's generally what I've been seeing today, is I'd say the sentiment's been pretty awful all week, but now people are like, okay, I'll short this because I'm convinced it's going to go down to 25, 27 or whatever. So now that's when maybe we can get a bit of a short squeeze going. But yeah, just at this point it's just wait and see, and then yeah, trade each level as it comes really. But yeah, we will see what happens.
I just went back and looked at the chart. The drop to 29,800 was, there were two 30-second candles there. So it was down there for less than a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think we need to go that low again, because that would have just been where price had gone through having to deal with all the liquidations that were going on.
So you don't think there's a whole lot of trapped traders down there? Trapped shorts?
No. I don't think people would have been shorting this unless they're like, you'd be insane to short down here.
But again, you're talking about a retail trader who's seeing that massive rapid drop.
I think people will probably be shorting this, but I don't think people will have shorted this.
Maybe just because that one was too fast and they weren't ready to run.
Yeah, I think this is where you can get trap shorts, is because now people are convinced it's going lower. Whereas this one was just so fast, everyone was still in positions from 38k, and then it was just like boom, okay, we're back above, and I think this is where you can start to trap short positions. But yeah, that dip was pretty quick. This dip was pretty quick. Actually, just looking at this as well, the structure's really similar. So we have the spike down, make that second low, put in a range, and it drops to take out the low. And that's happened here as well. So we have that kind of big move down like we've got here. So here and here, the range is the same. You're making lower highs on this range as well. So you've got these lower highs, falls off a cliff. And yeah, I guess this point would be looking down at maybe a market structure change down there. Because it actually looks really similar, those two.
Look, check out one really interesting thing where I took along today, because if you go back a little bit, go back to I know, just on the chart that you were on.
Yep.
You were on this chart. The chart that you were on, not the TPO one. Just go back to TV.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing TPO, right? Yeah. Okay. So just zoom out a little bit, and you're gonna see a range.
Oops.
Check out the range, because right now I'm looking at your Zoom call, so I can check my trading view. I will tell you the dates.
Yeah.
So just zoom out a little bit and go back, and on the left side, where the big support is. So you're more like, are you on 4 hours? You are. You're on the hourly. Just switch
what
to
day are
4
we
hours.
looking at? What day?
I'll tell you. Wait, I gotta go out to the Zoom now. Okay, so you're right there. You see that range on the left where the big support is.
Mm-hmm.
So just pull the fixed range on that chunk. Yeah, on that chunk where you're going right now. Yeah, just on that chunk. Just pull it from left, right, like the fixed range.
Just in this little bit.
And you will see
Nice.
like, no, just start from the very beginning.
Oh, okay. Just you want to get the whole range.
the full chunk. And you will see today we came to the value area low of that chunk, which means that there's a strong buying power here. Like it's immediately being bought up. Look at that.
Yeah, this is on that weekly level as well, which is really nice.
Look, we came into a very value area low of that chunk. Look at that, like straight down into that. Like look, and shoot back up.
Yeah, it's the same no matter how you pull that.
You see,
which is really nice.
And which means that chunk is still very, very much active. Like there's buying power there. Obviously, people are sitting there with the money and they're not letting it down. Drop down more than 31K or 30. Like 30 stops that I'm seeing us coming down.
This is interesting.
That's like some kind of psychological level.
If we go from the start of the year, this is interesting. So this is the start of the year up until when it broke out of accumulation. So this is on 20 ticks. So let's go in right in. So $10 ticks. 31,100. Exactly. So that's the value area low of the year for that whole accumulation period. And 31,100 was where we came down to, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we came down today. It was like 31,400, 300. I mean, I was looking at that zone. I actually had it charted as a zone in my chart, and I literally took a long there, and it was a bingo.
Yeah. God, yeah, that's perfect.
You see that?
That's literally hit the
Yeah, you see that? And that's how I trade. That's how I scalp as well. I'm using scalps like that. I'm like, I even go down to 1 minute, 5 minutes, 3 minutes as well when I'm scalping, and I'm using those little ranges, and like it literally comes so technical to the value area low, and
they're great because you can do them on anything. Like you could you could put a range, you could put a fixed range, and find. Okay, we've scrubby as anything, but find the point of control up here.
Exactly. I just choose a pivot point. Either I go from lower high or higher low, and I just find the range, and it's so respectful. Like wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's 10-20. Can have a look at. Apparently, there's another big dump of Ethereum onto Bitfinex, so we'll see if that gets pushed down again. Gold value areas, yeah. Yeah, this is why you never remove stuff from your chart, which I yeah. So our fixed range again. Let's go. I'm going to pull this from the start of the year because I like what that did. Whoops, oh, wrong chart. Okay. So yeah, we got that point of control at 33,800 on that as well. So
because that's like in the beginning of the year, that's like the proper range that we had. Like we were moving so strongly upwards after that. Like there was like, you know, those news, this and that, the reef, Visa is accepting payments, Elon Musk, this and that, like, you know. So this is what I'm actually observing as a proper range where we were actually accumulating, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And then
you know?
Then this was the first parabolic move that we had here in February, and then it's just been distribution since then.
Well, that
and if you want to compare it now, you know,
is the one that JJ was pointing out as being important as well.
Yeah, like no matter what your strategy is for trading, this range is important because, again, if you're looking at from an Elliott wave perspective, it's significant there. From Wyckoff, you've got your accumulation here. Then we have the markup. That's the kind of the parabolic move that we did have higher. And I remember, like, back here, I was just like, this is stupid. Like, things are getting stupid. I remember back in February, like, it was crazy. And all of this then after that has just been distribution. But this is, and the crazy thing with this as well is that how many times have we seen like Ethereum do this exact thing this year? Like Ethereum puts in a range, has its markup, moves around, distribution, comes back down into where its previous range was. It does it all the time. And now people are so shocked at Bitcoin doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's the fact that the numbers are just so much bigger. It makes it seem like it's a bigger move. And in terms of percentages, it's not that much different than what we've seen before.
Yeah, well, percentages are the percentages on this move are crazy. But again, we did have a crazy move, move up. But yeah, Ethereum's just doing the same thing it always does. Like, look, Ethereum puts in this range, has a markup, distribution, comes back down into the like previous range, does it again here, has a nice move up, comes back down, tests the previous range, and now it's like that wasn't really much of a test, but now we're back into it kind of properly here. But it's just the speed of it that's come down is But I really like Ethereum here. Like that looks like Ethereum looks pretty good. Like,
I also love Ethereum, but that was carnage. Like this is
just flip. Like you could stick a mirror on this chart. Maybe that. Just a mirror image, isn't it? From that green line. It's just a mirror image. So just imagine if so that would mean the next move has come back down. So we're here on this mirror image coming down. And then here we go. That's next for Ethereum. That's really interesting. Just looking at that, how it's just identical. Like that move down, you have a big move up, the same as this.
Exactly, and you know what that tells me? Why I'm observing those ranges, why I was trading today from the yearly range that we had like on the beginning of the year, because I'm constantly thinking, and like that I collected through the experience of trading, like there's always a bigger plan. I think that they have like plans for yearly, or they make it in the beginning of the year for the yearly basis, and they just keep printing. You know, they printing patterns. That's why they're constantly repeating. Like, you know, they have plans. You know, they put the impulse up and then they bring the boat back.
Yeah. Yeah, look, you could use this fractal, stick it here, and there we go. So is this what we're going to see on Ethereum? Just the mirror image of what the bear market was.
That's crazy, actually, man.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like, just how look at that. And that's just, I've not done anything. So you just go, oh, okay, let's pull that again, because I did move things around when I was trying to figure out how to do a mirror image. So we go high, let's do high to, should we go low? Yeah, high to low. Then we flip it. Oh, flip it and move it over to here. So that's now the COVID low there, isn't it? Or, oh no, this is just another. So we had that low and then you flip it over on, yeah, November, flip it over, and then we've got this. So actually from that low, this is really interesting. So this would be that one, isn't it? So yeah, it doesn't quite line up in terms of the time, but to get this low again here, I'm going to keep that on my chart. That's interesting. Imagine, so this will be, maybe we have an alt season phase 2 coming in and everything starts just to bounce back, and then Bitcoin regains its dominance and just crushes alts. I wonder.
The amplitudes are off, but the pattern is almost identical.
Yeah. Like, it's obvious, nothing you could trade off, but it's yeah, it's interesting. Oh my god, Litecoin. Oh wow. Wow. Litecoin's back down to my favorite range ever. Like this monthly level is just the best level on Litecoin. Like, to long off of that monthly is so much fun. Because every single time, it's like, whoa, bounce. This is, yeah, Litecoin's come down to like the best level on the chart. Again, which... And here as well, wow. So Litecoin is just... Man, that's so nice. Oh, I wish I had more money to put into Litecoin. This one's the same as well, isn't it? Like, this looks the same as the reverse chart. It's just straight move up, followed by that, and then you just that, followed by straight move down. So we've just done 2017, 2018 in reverse on like everything.
I mean, if Bitcoin continues to dip more, like altcoins are going to be completely destroyed. They're gonna go back like to.
Oh yeah, and they will be anyway. I think this is the start of it, and they're all going to go back to their wave 1 support. I pick anything at this stage, and Like Cardano's probably going to come back down to like 2,000 sats, and we're still at 4,000 sats.
You don't think they're gonna have one more rally, like a shorter rally?
Yeah,
maybe come back up.
Yeah, I think we'll probably get like some. It depends how quickly Bitcoin can reverse and start going, because and how strong it's going to hold up. To be honest, Cardano's held up really nicely through all of this. So maybe that one survives, but yeah, I would like to see Cardano come back down towards like 2,000 sats again. BNB. Ooh. Where's the... no, it's all right. Okay.
But Luke, I want to discuss something with you, like just for a second. It's something that I'm thinking about for a while now. It's just, you know, the energy, everything is changed. We have like 18 million Bitcoins already halved, and we have only 3 million more to, like, the whole energy, everything is changed. People are much more aware of Bitcoin. Like, we can compare it to previous cycles. I literally just don't see us coming back to lower ranges where it's going to be more affordable, you know, like without being bought up really, really quick. I'm just looking at it from a standpoint of any even retail or in the institutions or anyone, you know, like if you bring it back down to 13K, 15K, 20K, like it's so affordable that like it's going to be bought up immediately. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't see us having a bear market that we did before, you know, like the long bear markets where we're dragging lower prices for a long period of time. I just don't see us, you know.
Yeah, I think at some point you're gonna get a. I think Bitcoin's probably a long way off of that now. But at some point the market cap will become so significant that it probably goes through like 10, 15 years or something of bear market, like something like gold did. But whether this is because the bearish argument for this is like, this is the longest range Bitcoin's ever had, that we've just gone through. So I'm going to think bearish for a minute. This is the longest range that Bitcoin's ever had, after the biggest move up it's ever had in a short space of time, after getting the best buy opportunity last March that it's ever had. So worse, like, I do think that I think right now still, that this is correction. Bitcoin's never gone back into a previous range like it's done here, but it's a very different asset to trade now. So fair enough that it did. But yeah, if you think fundamentally, does it justify a market cap this high? I don't know. And could it go back down if this is just decided that, okay, institutions got their last bit of fun here, then they know that they can distribute it up here and within like the largest range ever. Realistically, that it could, if institutions could come out of Bitcoin now, because they're still all in profit here because they will been buying all of this as well, like the price could easily come back down to like $1,000 on Bitcoin, because that's the thing. If what really has been driving price, like, I don't know, is it, and I still believe, and this is the thing, like, you get this every time things get bearish, as you start to think about, like, is it really worth this much? but this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of its, like, since it's ever existed. So macro, since it's ever been around, this is kind of like a wave 5 that it's doing now. Could it come all the way back down to $1,000 if people just stop thinking about it? Probably could. I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's still a very...
Yeah, that's crazy talk, Luke.
Well, it is, yeah. It is, because that would mean, like, at this point, like, everything that's been built over the last 4 years will get destroyed. But I'm pretty sure anyone that's been in crypto for the last 4 years has probably had a pretty nice payoff by now. I don't see... I've not really seen much from Vitalik this bull run. Ethereum's doing new stuff, yeah, fair enough, but it hasn't done anything yet. So I don't see much from Vitalik. I haven't seen anything from who are the big people of 2017. Justin Sun, he's not anywhere to be seen. Litecoin, what's his name? The
Wasn't
Litecoin guy.
Justin Sun the one that they were supposedly liquidating with the last?
Yeah, he's the Tezos. He's a Tezos inventor. Like he's the guy who made Tezos and
Tron.
you know.
Yeah.
Tron.
Tron.
Yeah, Tron.
But wasn't the rumor that they were after?
Yeah, that was a rumor, and I think that
who it was that everything pointed to.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm talking like there's people in the YouTube being like, you're talking nonsense. Well, I am talking nonsense. I don't believe that at all. But anyone who's been in crypto for long enough has made enough money by now that this could just be, they could just, and if they decide to do that, if kind of everyone, well, I guess you've got a lot of people still building things, which puts my argument, just makes it nonsense, which it is.
We're not building it on Bitcoin. So my concern is not so much with the long-term hodlers and such as that, but the people who have entered the market who in the last year kind of got the crypto message of, hey, this is an alternative to fiat currencies, et cetera, et cetera. And I think a lot of those people are going to be disillusioned with this because, crypto was supposed to be beyond manipulation. It was supposed to be, decentralized, et cetera, et cetera. And what this market has shown us is not only is it not beyond manipulation, it's primed for manipulation. And
it's getting worse. That's the crazy thing as well, is that, like, for myself, having been in this market for 5 years now, I thought, like, I knew 5 years ago that I was early, and that things were going to go up. But if anything, this market just proved, like, it's saying to me again, like, I'm getting that same feeling, like this is still so early in a market, which is just crazy to think, because I've been here 5 years and you would have thought that it would have matured a bit by now, but it really hasn't at all.
It's still under 10% on the adoption curve, though.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and we're at this phase of a bull market, and it's still like so, like the adoption of it is still so low, which that makes me think like there's so much more fun to be had in this market before things start getting like kind of chilling out a bit. Well, both. Yeah, bull market FUD is brilliant. Like, I love it. It's just how people keep falling for the same stuff time after time.
People would probably hodl all those alts to zero. Again.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna be like
that's quite funny. Like, someone's just asked in the The chat saying, hi Luke, are you still holding spot alts? You told in the current live stream that they're going to go to wave one. That would be a huge dip. What are you doing with your alts? Yeah, I'm one of those. I'll hold them to zero. I got the profit out of the alts that I wanted to, and I've put back what I wanted to into Bitcoin at this stage, and now what I have left, I just have to stick with at this stage. I'm not going to sell down here.
But it's gonna bounce back. Like it's gonna have one more rally, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Of course they will. And
yeah, that might be the next market, though. You know, that's one thing you mentioned the other night, Luke. That
yeah,
this being, you said you've been in for 5 years. I've been in for all of 5 months. But the learning point from this was, you know, I've got a bit of money in my alts wallet, and I didn't take any money off the table.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was looking at it like, oh, you know, my ADA, it's you know, almost tripled. Great, I'm going to leave it in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
10. Well, yeah, but if I would have just taken some at 2, you know, and it hit 2, and if I'd just taken half off the table at 2, like you say, then you've got money in the wallet to buy more when it falls back.
Yeah.
And whatever you're left at that point is basically free coins because you've already taken everything you invested off.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what I've done is just I've taken the profit that I wanted to and everything, and with hindsight, you always wish you'd taken more profit. I still wish I'd sold everything at the top, which is of course, because I've got nothing left to put back in there now. I've already reallocated everything I want to, and I wish I could have bought this dip a bit more, but it's fine. But yeah, I think.
The shoulda, woulda, coulda. I mean, there's a good rule there of sell half at 2x, and that way you've got all of your investment off. Anything that goes beyond that, that's pure profit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, once you've taken your, or even if you just take your initial investment out, once it gets to a good area, like just think about it. Like, even if you'd just done that. Whatever you've got left in your spot wallet is all profit. It doesn't matter if it goes down 90%. That's profit that's gone down 90%, and it could always come back up. You're still in profit. As long as you take your initial investment off the table quite early on, and leave the rest of it. And that's generally what I do. And I kick myself. Like, I can remember I sold Doge. Well, to be honest, it's probably still above where I sold it because I was silly. But I sold Doge at like 18 cents. And yeah, we've come back down to like where I sold it, which is ridiculous. I could have held it all the way up here, but you don't go broke from selling too early. I remember selling BNB on this high. I think that was the first time when we came up here the first time. I sold like all of my Binance. And yeah, went higher after that, but now it's down here. So
good time to reinvest.
Yeah. But yeah,
pretty much the same. We're down to previous accumulation levels.
Yeah. There's some stuff that looks great. Like, still looks really good. CRV looks really good. Dash is another one that looks really nice. Like, just simple, like, draw a trend line and look where we are. It's just nothing that bad about what's going on a lot of these. In fact, yeah, Dash looks really nice actually. Oh yeah, we've had a nice little move up. And JDG, I was just seeing a comment from you saying something about not without a blow off top beforehand. Lower highs mean higher lows. I agree. This is the only thing like that I'll say is that I did get, and again, I really do not think that we're going into a bear market. I think this has just been massive shakeout that's never been seen before, and I'm not really bearish down here unless we start losing like 27. But we did kind of have a blow off top, which was back in February. It just took a long time for it to like that parabolic move and then taking out the entire move as a blow off top. So we did have it, but it then took all of this distribution afterwards for us to come down lower. But I think we get another much bigger one than this. And I still do think we're going off to like 180 to 120k at some point. Zari Barsi asking, thanks for the answer. But what has to happen for Alt's USD to go back to wave one? I don't think Alt USD pairs are going to go back down to their. So by wave one, we're looking at like Ethereum going back down to 400. I don't see that happening, not unless we go into another like 4-year bear market. But I do see ETH BTC coming back down to its like 0.04 or something again at some point, and that would be in the next kind of big run that Bitcoin has. That I think will just crush alts as well. But on the other hand, like alts have had a bear market within like, we've just done a bear market in a week, so maybe we just keep going like we were.
I mean, it's all going to be, the way Bitcoin is going to be behaving,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say alts will keep bleeding, I think, unless Bitcoin puts in a range like quite a lot higher than it is right now. I think if Bitcoin can get back above, well, at this stage back above 42 and put in a range maybe between 42 and 48, we might see alts do quite well again in there. I think while it's still so close to these lows, I think that will just keep, no one's going to be bidding on alts down here. They'll be too scared. We'll see. What would be the market cap of Bitcoin if we reach 180k? I did have the Bitcoin market cap. Oh, that's this one, isn't it? Right, how do I figure that out? That would be like here. Let's just go price from all-time high up to 180k. 180% ish. 3.4 trillion ish. What's the market cap of gold?
Around 10.
11 trillion.
Yeah.
That's not actually, yeah, that's not unlikely, is it? For Bitcoin to get to 3.5, seems pretty reasonable. And then next market cycle, it maybe goes up to 10. Who knows?
Well, I'm gonna have to say goodbye. Like, Luke, thank you so much for talking. Thank you for having me, man. And keep doing what you're doing. You're great.
Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, it's good to good to speak to you.
Okay.
And,
Have a good night, man. Have a good night to other co-speaker.
yes.
And good night, guys. Bye bye.
Night, man. Bye. Jaffa, I love this. Right. The crypto fear and greed index now. This is brilliant. What is the fear and greed index right now? Whoops, I just had it. 14. It's the lowest it's ever been.
That's a lot of fear.
Yeah. So the lowest it's ever been was 5 August 2019. That's a weird date for it to be the lowest ever. I don't remember it being August 2019. Was it really that bearish then? Was that when we went down to 3K? No. Huh? That's up here. Why would Bitcoin be so like fear and greed be so low down there? Weird. Yeah, it'll be below 10 tomorrow, I'd expect. Yeah, I might call it a night in a minute as well. What's the open interest looking like? Whoops. So open interest is rising. Oh no, pretty flat. So like locally. Scroll is. Okay. Right. Yeah, I think I am going to leave it
Is that
there.
a sentiment chart you're looking at, Luke?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like we're turning a corner.
it does. Yeah, it does definitely.
It's a lot of blood in the middle of that thing.
Mhm. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. I like what this is doing. Open interest, relatively flat. There's fairly decent volume at the lows. I don't know. Imagine. Actually, I said this the other night and it played out, so I really don't want to say it again. when we thought we'd bottomed out, and we opened outside of daily value area high, and then we had the bearish 80% setup, and it worked. And yeah, now we're here. So let's hope we don't close above like 35k tonight. Otherwise, we get another bearish 80% setup tomorrow.
Yeah, we got an hour and a half to get there.
Yeah, I think, yeah, to be honest, I think we are. I think that's going to happen.
Yeah. If this current trend continues, that's about the right slope, if you will, the right angle of attack to get us there at about that time.
Yeah.
And we've got a nice parallel channel pointing towards that.
We do. How much of a mess is my chart looking now? Oh, I really need to tidy this up so much tomorrow.
Oh, I hear you.
That's the problem with streaming. Like, normally I used to have such nice clean charts. And then I just draw crap on it and I end up like pressing delete because I'm doing it on video. And just to be quick, and I
mean, even my fairly simple charts, after a while, it's like, okay, I got so much clutter on here. I'm just going to go start turning things off.
Yeah.
But then you end up, your object tree ends up with a billion things on it. And
yeah.
I know you guys say never delete anything, but I will be honest, there have been a number of times where I've just said, okay, I'm starting over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do that. I do have, I think my Bittrex chart has like a lot of history on that. But my Bybit one, I often start over because mainly I'm using my Bybit one for just each day as it comes, really. So if anything outside of where I think price could be is not really worth having. Although, yeah, if you had that value area low and the point of control and everything of this range.
From that January.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great.
Luke, you're the first YouTuber I've heard that says he uses Bittrex, which is one of the exchanges I use as well, and just think it's funny.
Oh, I only use it to chart. I just it's one because I used to use Bittrex. I used to trade on there. So I still chart. I still have old stuff on my chart from there, and I still do add. So if there's like levels that I just want to mark on and then come back to like way later on, my Bittrex chart does have that. But
it's really hard to trade on any exchange after you use Bybit. It's just so user friendly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bybit's good.
Bittrex is one of the few that has, I mean, like if you want to go back to the, 2012 time frame.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, because back in 2017, I was that was before Binance and stuff. Bittrex, that was the that was the one. That was the one where everyone traded. I have no idea what it's doing now, but I'm sure I've got some really interesting old levels on it. Ugh. Cool. All right, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Got to be up nice and early for normal trading to resume, and hopefully we'll be in a slightly better position than we're at right now, but we will see. Cool. Yeah, thanks everyone for joining, and yeah, thanks guys for joining in on the Zoom call. I will speak to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Luke.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
No worries. Cheers, guys.
See you, bud.
See ya. Bye.